Some bodies don't just stand out, they rewrite the definition of what's possible. In this amazing video, you'll meet people with body features so bizarre, they've baffled doctors and captivated millions. From the world's stretchiest skin to lips larger than most faces, these rare traits aren't illusions. They're real, extreme, and almost impossible to believe. But behind every strange feature is a powerful story of resilience, confidence, and radical self-love. These are the world's most unusual body features and the incredible individuals who embrace them every single day. Number 15. Noah Wall. In Cumbria, Shelley and Rob Wall were given a crushing diagnosis during a routine scan. Their unborn son had severe spina bifida and hydrocephalus. Doctors said Noah had just 2% brain tissue and likely wouldn't survive birth. They were advised to terminate. But Shelley and Rob chose hope over fear. On March 6, 2012, Noah was born, shocking everyone by breathing unaided. Surgeons immediately closed the gap in his spine and inserted a shunt to drain excess brain fluid. Initial scans still looked bleak, hardly any brain tissue, but something incredible unfolded. With pressure relieved, Noah's brain began to grow. By age 3, scans revealed his brain had developed to nearly 80% normal size. Doctors now believe the fluid compressed, not destroyed, his brain. Today, Noah is funny, sharp, and obsessed with learning. He's performed at the Royal Albert Hall and inspires thousands as a hero for disability awareness. Number 14. Daniel Browning Smith. Daniel, aka the human rubber band, didn't just twist his body, he bent reality. Born in 1979 in Meridian, Daniel's wild flexibility showed up early. At just 4 years old, he launched himself off a bunk bed and landed in a full straddle split. That moment flipped a switch. By his teens, he was performing on sidewalks, and by 18, he'd joined the offbeat Bindlestiff family circus. He later trained under Master Lu Yi at the San Francisco School of Circus Arts, perfecting Chinese acrobatics. His superhuman flexibility comes from hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which affects collagen, giving him loose joints and elastic skin. He endured minor discomfort but never let it stop him. Daniel holds 7 Guinness World Records, including the most flexible man. He's appeared in CSY New York, Monk, and Zohan, hosted Stan Lee's Superhumans, and even broke motion capture software with his insane range. Daniel didn't just bend, he redefined human limits. Number 13. Carlos Haffy Rodriguez. Carlos's life veered off course at just 14. Living in Miami, a drug-fueled night ended in disaster after he stole a car, crashed into a pole, and was thrown headfirst through the windshield. His injuries were serious. Doctors removed a big portion of his skull and frontal lobe just to keep him alive. Somehow, he pulled through. Thanks to neuroplasticity, his remaining brain adapted. He kept most of his cognitive skills. His mugshot, showing a head with a huge chunk missing, went viral online. But Carlos didn't disappear. He went public, warning young people against reckless choices. However, staying out of trouble proved harder. In 2010, he was arrested for soliciting a sex worker, and in 2016, for arson and attempted murder. His life became a storm of relapses and hard lessons. Carlos's story is both a medical marvel and a cautionary tale. Surviving trauma doesn't erase your past, but it might give you a second shot at writing a new future. Number 12. World's Tallest Mohawk. Kazuhiro Watanabe once owned a hairstyle that broke every height record. His mohawk, which reached an astonishing 3 feet 8.6 inches, was officially verified in Tokyo back in 2011. Growing it took over 15 years. Styling it was another battle. It requires 2 full hours, 3 cans of hairspray, and an entire tub of gel. But Watanabe didn't grow it just for the spotlight. A Tokyo-based fashion designer, he created this towering look as a bold rejection of Japan's deeply rooted culture of conformity. While he no longer holds the record today, his mohawk hasn't lost its legendary status. The hairdo still turns heads and sparks conversation, a lasting tribute to personal freedom through fashion. For Watanabe, it wasn't just about height, it was about identity. Standing tall meant more than defying gravity, it meant defying expectations. His mohawk didn't just rise above the rest, it stood for something bigger, the right to look exactly how you feel. Number 11. Ashley Kurpil. This isn't fiction. It's the lived reality of a woman whose body is gradually transforming into bone, but whose will remains unshaken. Ashley has one of the rarest medical conditions on Earth, and it's called fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, also known as Stone Man syndrome. It causes muscles, tendons, and connective tissue to ossify over time, locking the body into a rigid state. Fewer than 1,000 people worldwide are diagnosed. Ashley's fight began with a tragic error. At age 3, doctors misdiagnosed her symptoms as tumors, leading to the amputation of her right arm and shoulder. The truth came later. It was FOP. But Ashley refused to be defined by pain. She modified a surfboard to keep riding waves, and in 2013, she received a myoelectric arm. Today, she's a relentless advocate, raising awareness and connecting families online. Ashley's strength isn't just physical, it's rooted in purpose, grit, and an unwavering refusal to let her body write her story alone. Number 10. Real-life Rapunzel. For Rin Kambe, hair isn't just part of her look. It's her identity, her expression, her daily ritual. For 17 years, she hasn't trimmed a single strand. Her jet black hair now spills down to a staggering 6 feet 11 inches, over a foot longer than her own 5 feet 5 inches frame, and even 4 inches longer than football legend Peter Crouch. Once a dancer with a sleek bob in the early 2000s, Rin felt invisible. She craved something iconic, something symbolic, like the grace of Han period Japanese princesses. From that day on, she never cut it again. But her flowing mane doesn't come easy. Wearing it down turns daily life into a maze. Tripping, eating, and even changing clothes become a chore. She usually ties it in a bun, though the weight causes headaches. She adjusts for several times daily. Each wash takes 3 hours. Still, strangers never believe it's real, until they see it. For Rin, it's not just hair, it's who she became. Number 9. Sain Mumtaz. In a rural village in Pakistan lives a young man whose body refuses to stop growing. Sain has one of the rarest and most puzzling conditions known to medicine, Proteus syndrome. This creepy disorder causes certain tissues in the body to grow without regulation, leading to massive, uneven overgrowth. While most people's growth ends after puberty, Sain's limbs, particularly his head, hands, and feet, have continued to enlarge. Only a handful of Proteus syndrome cases exist globally, and it's the same condition believed to have affected Joseph Merrick, known as the Elephant Man. Sain's condition comes with far more than physical difficulty. His size makes daily life a battle. Simple movements are painful, and social isolation has taken its toll. Many people avoid him, unable to see past his appearance. But Sain hasn't given up. He's actively seeking medical help, anything to slow the progression. While there's no known cure, his perseverance stands as a reminder. Some spirits outgrow every limitation. Number 8. Lyudmila Tichenkova. Lyudmila's neck is unlike any you've seen. Stretching over 40 centimeters long, it gives her a presence that stops people mid-step. But it didn't happen overnight. This transformation comes from a deep-rooted tradition and decades of dedication. Since childhood, Lyudmila has worn metal rings around her neck, a custom in her community designed to gradually elongate the neck by pressing down the collarbone. With each added ring, her silhouette changed. The process is demanding. It takes strength, patience, and full commitment. Even adjusting or removing the rings is a delicate task, as her muscles and bones have adapted to the support over the years. Now, her posture, movement, and balance all depend on them. The rings aren't jewelry, they're part of her, a symbol of identity, pride, and cultural legacy. Lyudmila's elongated neck isn't just a feature, it's a living connection to generations before her, shaped by tradition. Number 7. Tom Staniford. Tom doesn't just defy athletic norms, he rewrites them. A British paracyclist with an ultra-rare genetic condition called MDP syndrome, Tom's body doesn't store subcutaneous fat. Only a handful of known cases exist globally. His face and limbs appear unnaturally lean, but behind the sharp appearance lies an equally sharp mind. The syndrome doesn't just affect looks, it brings joint stiffness, fragile bones, type 2 diabetes, and hearing loss. Yet Tom refused to slow down. He trained, competed, and in 2011 became the British National Paracycling Circuit race champion. His body couldn't build fat, but it built endurance, focus, and grit. Doctors struggled for years to name his condition, finally diagnosing him as an adult. Off the track, Tom earned a law degree, worked in tech and policy, and advocates for rare diseases. His strength isn't just physical, it's in his resolve, proving that some limits are only there to be broken. Number 6. Harnam Kaur. Harnam Kaur turned her beard into a banner of defiance. Diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome during her teens, the condition caused facial hair growth that most would desperately try to hide. Harnam didn't. She chose to embrace it. Growing up in the UK, she was bullied, mocked, and pushed toward shame. But at 24, she claimed her space in history as the youngest woman with a full beard, earning a Guinness World Record. Her beard wasn't a gimmick, it was rebellion. She took her differences and made it fashion. She walked in London Fashion Week, appeared on global magazine covers, and stood tall in every frame. Critics couldn't rattle her. She turned every stare into a statement. Today, Harnam is a loud, proud advocate for body positivity. Her beard became more than facial hair, it became her armor. Through speeches, media, and sheer presence, she tells the world, beauty doesn't follow rules. Number 5. Andrea Ivanova. Andrea Ivanova has turned cosmetic enhancement into her signature style, which is pretty cool. This Bulgarian woman isn't just chasing beauty, she's making it hers. Back in 2018, at just 21, Andrea began undergoing lip augmentation procedures, determined to have the world's largest lips. She's now had over 40 injections using hyaluronic acid fillers to achieve her extreme look. Known online as the Balkan Barbie, Andrea isn't looking for approval. She's rewriting beauty standards on her terms. Doctors have warned her about the risks, but she continues without hesitation. Her bold makeup, platinum blonde hair, and dramatic features make her instantly recognizable. Online, she shares beauty updates and photos with a growing audience across Instagram and TikTok. While many watch in awe or disbelief, Andrea isn't trying to fit in. She's expressing herself unapologetically, and she's not stopping anytime soon. Her next goal? Achieving the world's largest cheekbones. To Andrea, beauty isn't conformity, it's identity. Number 4. Rumeysa Gelgi. Since 2021, she's held the Guinness World Record as the tallest living woman, measuring a remarkable 7 feet 0.7 inches. Born in Turkey, her extraordinary height is caused by Weaver syndrome, a rare genetic disorder that accelerates growth and affects physical features. But Rumeysa doesn't see it as a limitation. She's turned her condition into a source of strength. Using her global recognition, she speaks out for people with visible differences and rare disorders. Despite needing a wheelchair for mobility, she moves through the world with purpose and pride. Rumisa has faced obstacles, from public stares to physical challenges, but she continues to educate, advocate, and uplift others. Her social media presence is honest and empowering, reminding people that differences deserve respect, not shame. Rumisa's message is clear. Being unique is not something to hide. She may stand tallest in stature, but it's her compassion, resilience, and pride that leave the deepest mark. All right, now, let's head over to number 3, Victoria Wright. Victoria Wright was never meant to blend in, and she never tried to. Born with a rare genetic disorder that affects facial bone growth, Victoria spent her childhood facing insults, stares, and strangers whispering cruel things. Many would have broken under that pressure. She didn't. Instead, she rose with grit, humor, and undeniable presence. Growing up, people compared her to cartoon characters and made her the punchline. But Victoria pushed back. She didn't hide behind filters or silence. She showed up, proudly. Her social media posts weren't just selfies. They were battle cries for anyone who's felt too different. She reminded the world that beauty isn't about symmetry. It's about boldness. Her bright fashion, radiant smile, and fiery captions drew a global following. Trolls still show up, but she meets them head-on, often with a witty takedown. To Victoria, being different isn't something to fix. It's power. She is very beautiful. Number 2, Jeff Dabe. Jeff Dabe is the man with hands that don't just stand out, they dominate. Born with a rare condition called macrodactyly, Jeff's hands measure an unbelievable 12 inches long. That's more than twice the size of an average adult male hand. No injury, no surgery. He was simply born this way. From childhood, his oversized hands made daily life awkward. Writing, eating, and even wearing gloves were a challenge. But Jeff never let it drag him down. Instead, he leaned into his difference. As he grew older, his massive hands became more than unique. They became powerful. Jeff took up arm wrestling and quickly made waves. His grip is crushing. His presence at the table? Unforgettable. Fans around the world follow his matches, cheering on not just his strength, but his humility and good-natured charm. Jeff Dabe didn't try to hide what made him different. He embraced it, owned it, and turned it into something extraordinary. Number 1, Kathy Young. Kathy Young isn't just into corsets, she's practically made of them. Born in 1937, she holds the world record for the smallest waist, an unreal 15 inches. That's narrower than most necks. At 5 feet 8 inches, her hourglass figure looks like it stepped out of a Victorian painting. Her obsession started before her marriage to Bob Jung, an orthopedic surgeon with a soft spot for historical style. What began as a love for vintage gowns morphed into a full-on devotion to tight lacing. By the 1980s, Kathy wore corsets up to 24 hours a day, even while asleep. Her waist gradually shrank over time, and now she owns over 100 custom-fitted corsets, rarely removing them. Despite wearing them non-stop for decades, Kathy claims 0 health problems. Bob used X-rays to monitor her spine and says the corsets helped support it. Whether you see her as a fashion icon or a walking oddity, Kathy became a living art. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll see you soon.